we own America, and we all know that to a degree. I'm gonna say this before I really dive in. I do think a lot of us as Black Americans blows it out of proportion, but absolutely we know that America is a racist state. There is a such thing as systematic racism. There is a such thing as, you know, people who legitimately prey on our downfall. It's not like that this stuff doesn't exist. I think some of the spoons, particularly the ones that are doing well for themselves, they don't look at it as if, thank God I was able to, do what I sure you gotta put in hard work and stuff like that for you to get there. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that, it doesn't exist. There are certain ones that goes out and say it doesn't exist. It's just not true. And we got a couple of key points. The reason why, I'm gonna highlight that. Number one on that list absolutely is systematic racism versus individual prejudice. There is a difference, So is America racist because of the system, or is it just because of a few bad individuals? That's the question we should ask ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because on one side, they argue laws, policies, and, housing policies show systematic racism. I can give you an example of that. In LA, they absolutely do it. I don't give a damn what they say. They definitely do it in LA. And I tell people all the time, that form of racism, in my opinion, is worse than the ones that are coming with the sheets on, just trying to physically harm you. Now, some people might think that's a little crazy, but I'll give you the reason why. When someone has that sheet on and they're coming to physically harm you, well, you're alert. You know they exist. You know exactly what they're there for. It's like the analogy that I always use. The wolf, when he shows up, you know exactly what he's there for. The snake in the grass, you might not see him, so he's slick. He's sneaky. And that's exactly the difference between the sneaky racism that you might see in California versus the racism that you might see in Mississippi. Both still racist. They just have different ways of looking at it. So also, another way of them being racist, the education system. We know for sure that they absolutely put way more funding and resources into the white schools than they do the black. This is just the truth. So, do school funding gaps prove America is still racist? If you ask me, I will say sincerely, absolutely, yes. You can go to certain schools and stuff like, for instance, my high school here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's going to look totally different from the schools that you may see in California and those particular areas such as, Beverly Hills and things like that. The resources that they possess, the nice books, the restaurants inside. Some of these people got built-in restaurants in there and stuff. All I'm saying is they're way more financially stable and stuff, and that's because so much more funding has been put into it. They won't give us the same funding that they give their white counterparts. That's just the truth. And then you got to look at the criminal justice system. The blacks are absolutely likely to get a much harsher sentences than someone of a white counterpart. This is just the truth. We don't see it on many occasions. One side, city stats shows that minorities get longer prison terms for the same crimes. The other side claims that the justice system is just punishes behavior, not skin color. It removes and reforms, not racism. But we all know that, some of them folks can come out there and shoot up a whole church and then claim that, he was mentally ill and can get much less sentence than someone who absolutely defended themselves. It could have legitimately been self-defense, but they're going to find a way to spin it. Nope, guilty, and throw the book at them. These are the things that we are talking about. And then here's another one: economic equality. Is the racist wealth gap in America's fault, or is it our fault? Now, a lot of spoons would say it's our fault. To a degree, I could agree with them to a small degree. You know what I'm saying? Small degree. I can slightly agree with them because some of us are just simply lazy, and we just want to make excuses for why we're not being successful. But on the flip side, they know good damn well that every time we try to build something up, they infiltrate it and then, do some BS, turn us against each other, and then everything comes crumbling down. We don't seen that episode too many times. But still, some argue that centuries of slavery and discrimination created an uneven playing field. Others countering that America offers the same opportunities today, and success depends on choice, not race. Choice, not race. That's why I said to a degree, because I do know a lot of lazy niggas. I'm sorry. I just gotta keep it 100. There's a lot of lazy niggas out here. They're gonna just sit there and make excuses out there if you like. But it is also certain ones that build their stuff up, and then it's kind of devastating for them to know how hard they worked at something, just to have them come and smash it down with their bullshit. And then here's another thing: we absolutely have to work 10 times harder to get something to go through than someone, that are our white or Asian counterparts. It's just the truth. They don't have to battle and fight the same wars that we have to get something done. I'm just keeping it 100. I mean, to be honest with you, I can really go on and make a whole long segment of it. Like, I really got a lot of ammo. But I don't want to make it too long, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up and try to read some of these comments. But y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. America absolutely has a history being some of the egregious, most notorious, hateful, suppressing SOBs we've ever seen on the face of the earth. Now, is it still going on as heavily as it used to? No, I think it's more systematic now. But it's still racist. Evidence cited for systematic racism includes disparities in school funding, hiring, home loans, approved outcomes within the criminal justice system. The Constitution was written of racism and corruption. She said, well, W.E.B. Du Bois speaks on us having to have a double life from birth, shows racism. In Texas, now they are back at the 1/5 of a person thing for us, and Mexicans 1/3. What? Hold on. What are you talking about? How the hell are they doing that? But anyways, yep, we have a high school less than 3 miles away, predominantly white, but the neighborhood I live in buses kids 10 to 20 miles away to other schools. Wait, but shouldn't that be like you have to be in a certain district to be able to attend a certain school though, right? Like I know you can't attend a school, for instance, like I'm gonna use, since I think you're from the LA area, right? If not, I know for sure you're in Cali. But I'm gonna just give an example. Like if you live in South LA, you can't qualify to go to school in Beverly Hills. So that's kind of crazy. How the hell can they do that? you should be able to qualify for this school that's right there. And then unless they have like some kind of what academic status or something like that, this this perspective often points to a history of slavery and segregation that has created enduring social and economic disparities between racial groups. Okay. With the in-your-face racism happening now, they're trying to turn back the clock, but it's the FAFO era. We're not marching and singing. We're whooping ass. Nah, I ain't seen Jalea, bro. She ain't came through yet. So, but yeah, that's I mean, y'all pretty much do absolutely get it, you know. We absolutely know that America is absolutely. But this is the thing. Like I tell folks all the time. I think I said this on the last line. Blacks, we are the currency. They understand it, so they're gonna absolutely keep their foot on our necks in order, in order to remain in power, even if they wanted to, you know, if they wanted to be fair about things. In order for them to maintain a good lifestyle, they can't do that. To a degree, I almost can go as far as saying I almost understand seeing us looking black and beautiful and natural and strong and talented like that. They got to even the playing field some kind of way. They're like, man, we ain't gonna deal with this. Them niggas gonna run all over us if we let them do that. So we're gonna hold them back some kind of way. This is what they came up with. They starting to group us in crime as a black man in America. I don't advocate for crime, but a lot of parasocial idiots have no experience other than social media systematic racism exists. Oh yeah, you are from the Bay Area. That's true. Well, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the Bay Area like that, so I can't really, give a demonstration of that. But they purposely redistricted areas so black and brown kids can't go to schools close to where they live. That's kind of, I don't know, but I mean, I don't really know how the law says that, but I thought that, they're not able to do that. So that's kind of crazy. I thought the law's like, you qualify by, where you live. So if that's the case, why do you have a school like that amongst the people that you don't want to attend it? Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and keep it pushing and move on to the next segment. And our next segment is boy, like I'm having damn issue. Technical difficulties right now. What the hell's going on here? It's crazy.